Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and I'm going to show you a few student trades today. So I want to go over our risk disclosure. Trading futures can be dangerous or risky, and so make sure you know what you're doing. Always make sure if you're trading live, you only trade with risk money or money you can afford to lose. So anyway, this is not always as easy as we make it look, but I hope you enjoy the trades. Thanks for watching. Okay, on this first trade, I'm going to show you two trades today. They're both student trades, and I believe both of these are the same student. I've watched this student really improve. He's been with us for a while, and I've watched him get better and better and better. He took this trade here. It's a lower high. I do have one small issue that I want to point out. This is not. Sometimes you can combine these bars and see what they look like, and that would give you a pretty bearish bar when it's an inside bar. But you got to be careful with that. I'm hesitant to say that because next thing you know, people will be trying to combine these bars and they'll be having all kind of losses, and they'll be like, what the heck? And so, but he's actually using this for his signal bar, and there's not much difference because there's resistance across there. That's the main reason. Um, I don't see a real problem with this, but I will point out that he's not following the rules because this is your signal bar, and it's too bullish. So he's using the inside bar. Now, usually inside bars can be unreliable. They're not. You want to be careful trying to trade inside bars. But again, you can see there's a consistent resistance across there where all the closes are. The closes are openings, I should say. There's both. And so that just kind of makes that like a resistance level, like a support resistance level. And that's a good signal bar off that resistance level. It is also a first entry, second entry. And it's also a break of this channel and two legs up to a new high. You actually get three pushes up. But there's a lot of reasons to like that trade. So having said that, I'm going to show it to you. But just remember that technically, by the rules, if you want to follow the rules 100%, he broke a rule here because this is the signal bar. And you normally shouldn't take inside bars. But again, because that's resistance across there and you're really trading a range, that one tick is not going to make a whole lot of difference. But you need to understand that fully before you take a trade like that. So if you're new to this, follow the rules. Don't necessarily do what he did here. But this is a great trade. I think it lasts all of 10 seconds. I mean, the whole video is only 50 seconds. So let's let this play, and you'll see a quick, easy scalp for this trader, and really a good read as well. So it's just that, just make sure you're aware of that fact that he did fudge the rules slightly, but there's reasons he was able to do that, because it's a second entry short. It's a break and two legs up. It's a failed break out of here. He's way away from the EMA, and this breakout, which is, you can almost be certain that prices are going to come back in, and he is taking a lower high too. So let's let this play. You can see he's getting ready to drop his order in there. And this is what you got to do. You got to anticipate these orders sometimes, because if you don't get in there quick enough. But here you could probably drop a limit order and maybe see it would have come back and filled you. And then boom, he's out. I mean, that quick. I mean, less than 30 seconds. So let's watch it one more time. It's a quick, easy move. He's just scalping singles here. So, okay, he's right there. It's not even we're at 38 seconds right there, and the trade hadn't triggered yet. So there it goes. Boom, he's out. So 10 seconds, a 10-second trade. And that's the beauty of this. You're not sitting around waiting and straight and stressing. You're in and out. You get your money and you're in and out. And it's just makes it so much easier. To me anyway. So I mean, some people can't scalp and they're better off trying to swing trade. But for me, the scalping is because you don't have to sit around and wait. You're usually not in a trade very long. You're going to know real quick if you're right or wrong. And if you get really good at spotting these entries and setups, they're all over the chart all day long in a lot of cases. And all you need is one or two of them. So anyway, nice trade by this trader. There's one more I want to show you. I'm going to pause it here and we'll find the other one and we'll show it. Okay, here's this one. Notice we got this sideways and we had a breakout and we come back. We got a trend working up. You get a close outside a new high, um, and then you make a lower high, which a break below it will also be a second entry short. It's also, I think you could argue it's a failed second entry long. It's close to being a triple test. There's several reasons to like this trade, but more than anything, it's a second entry short when you're looking for prices to turn lower. So, or at least make a new low on this channel working down. It may turn out to be kind of a sideways range here, but we may just get back in this range because you can see the support right across there, but this support seems to be a little lower. But he's basically trading this. This is a trap here, and it's going to be a second entry short. But there's a bit of a trap to this too, because you had this big bullish bar reversal, and guaranteed when it broke above, people went long right there, and they're going to be trapped. And so let's watch this play out. I believe this is the same trader, and he's going in with 5 on this one. Okay, you can see he's trades filled, and boom, just like that. Again, no more than 20 seconds, and with 5 contracts, he just made a quick $250. Now, where else can you make $250 for 20 seconds of your time? And of course, you have to sit here a little longer to wait on the setup, but just say an hour or two of your time in the morning, afternoon, whatever, and you spend an hour or two and you make $250, and you got no overhead really other than your internet and your computer that you probably already own, and you have no employees, you got no customers you got to deal with. It's just the best. It's the best of both worlds. So, um, and you can learn this, and it's not as easy as it looks when people that have been doing it a while, like our students and me, when you see these trades, we make it look real easy, and it really is once you can read the chart and you understand what's going on. But it's not as easy to learn as when you just watch the video. So be careful with that. I always give that warning when I at the beginning of every one of these videos. But okay, I'm going to show you one more trade here that a student sent me, and you can see we're in a downtrend. We got a break here. You got a first entry, and then it went higher again. So when it comes back down through there again, that is a second entry short. It's also somewhat of a lower high. It's maybe moved a little further than I would like to trade that as a lower high. But with it being a second entry and a good signal bar here, I wouldn't have any problem taking this trade. Another issue I would say too is it looks a little congested. There's 3 bars there, and what you'll see, especially when this one formed and didn't break, if it doesn't break below, I wouldn't even take this trade. I would sit tight and wait on a better entry. And what you'll see here is he does have to fight some congestion, but he doesn't get stopped out. And so there's a couple of good learning issues here. Be careful when you enter in congestion. Anytime you see 3 or more bars stacked side by side, and at least one of them has no body like this or a very tiny body like that, that is congestion. And what happens with congestion is it acts like a range. So when it breaks out, it fails and snaps back, and sometimes it will stop you out. But the other good thing is he puts his stop where it belongs. He doesn't let this shake him up, and the trade ends up working out. It ends up getting a runner too, so it ends up being a nice trade. So there's several learning opportunities here, but let's watch this trade. You can see he puts his limit order there, and it comes back and fills him. And he puts his safety stop 1 tick above the signal bar, just like we teach you. And you can see here is to fight a little congestion on this one. This trade Takes a few minutes. It looks like he's trying to get 2 points on his scalp as well, which I know some of y'all have read people in the forum talking about that. I'm not crazy about that. I never go for anything but 4 ticks because some of these trades are only designed to get 4 ticks. And so if you go for more, you're going to have more losers because sometimes all they get is just enough to get your scalp with 4 ticks. Um, people have read, I mean, it's been beaten into your head about this risk reward ratio. With what we do, it doesn't matter. I'm just, you always want to be worried about how much money you're losing. But if you know how to do this and you can read the chart, the odds are so stacked on our side that we don't care too much about risk reward. Where you put your stop in our strategy is way more important than how big your stop is. So, but your stop always has to go 1 tick above the signal bar. I'd rather see you do that and try to get more than 4 ticks than to try to put your stop somewhere in the middle of your signal bar. Because you can see if he had his stop anywhere from there down, he would have got stopped out. So there's a reason why we put it where we put it. It's protected there if you're reading the chart right. So, and you can see he took some heat on this because it was congested a little bit, I think. And so it snapped back, but it ends up turning down, and he'll get his 2 points on one contract, and we'll see what he gets on the other. I can't remember. But yeah, this is a great that he didn't let that shake him up and go ahead and exit his trade, worrying about getting stopped out. He stuck with his entry. See if we can speed this one up a little bit. And you can see actually he'd have got stopped out if he'd have put it anywhere but 1 tick above. Maybe right at it he might have survived too. But yeah, he comes very close to getting stopped out on this trade. Yeah, actually you can see there if he even put it even with a high, he'd have got stopped out. But watch what happens. And that's why we put our stop where we put it. And that's why we tell you don't mess with your trades. Because if your read is right, you're in a protected spot. And you can see this is a great example of why we put our stop where we put it. But we also, I'll recommend only going for 4 ticks. I don't believe in this going for 2 points or 3 points or whatever. That's why we have a runner. So use your runners for that. Just leave your stop where it's at because you'd be better off to do that and risk getting stopped out with at least having a profit of whatever. Let's just say he only went for 4 ticks. He'd get out here, and even if he got stopped out, he would only lose on one contract because he won on one. So I'd rather see you do that than go for 2 points and lose on both of them. So I hope that makes sense. And there he is. He scalped out with his 2 points. He would have already been out on his 4, and it looks like he's going to get 3.5 on his runner here. I think he gets filled on this. It's really struggling to go lower there, but that's not uncommon. You're going to get some support in there every previous swing low, even if it's only momentarily. And there he is. He's out of his trade. Nice trade there. He was a little early. This looks a little congested. I would have probably waited. I may not have taken that trade. I'm trying to remember what it looked like when he actually entered. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem entering one tick below that bar after it pulls back here. But I probably would have just waited on this one. But it's definitely a second entry. It's somewhat of a lower high. You would expect prices to make a new low. So he's got the right idea. This would be a timing thing. He's a little bit early in my opinion. So, but nice trade. Uh, good. What I'd really say was really good discipline there and not letting that come all the way up and shake you out of that trade. You know, one more tick and you'd have got it stopped out. But that's why we put our stop where we put it. And that's why it's so important to put it above the swing. And that's why your signal bars always makes the swing high or swing low. If you'd have entered here, your signal bar would have gone there. Let's say you went long down here, your safety stop would go one tick below that signal bar. That's your signal bar. It makes the swing low. This is the signal bar here. It makes the swing high. This is the one here. It makes the swing high. Now, I'm not saying they're good signal bars, but those are the ones. That's where your stop goes. Here's your signal bar here. If you were going long, your stop goes there. Down here, you got a double bottom. Your stop goes there or there. If you're going long, I'm just saying. I'm not saying those are good entries, but just keep that in mind. But yeah, nice trade by this trader. Um, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll be back Monday. I'm done for today. I'm going to close up and get out of here early. It's Friday. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.